Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Steve's Guitars. Let's get this show on the road. But before we do that, first off, we need to send some thank yous out. First off, we want to send a shout out to Feldman and Wirtz, as well as PM Consulting Limited. These folks are our primary web sponsors. They make it possible for us to do our live streaming, or as we're doing tonight, our delay streaming. We need to send a shout out to GrassRoots Community Network. They're the nation's oldest community access station. They're up in Aspen. They host our streams, and we're really grateful to have them around. Need to send a shout out to the Standiford family for this amazing space. And of course, a shout out to all of you who have at one time or another supported live music. It's a good thing to do. If you're on the web, please remember to like and subscribe. And enjoy. Without any further ado, please welcome Marty O'Reilly.
Thanks, everybody. I'm from California, and I've been doing this my whole life, and I, for years, saw my friends' bands touring around, and I'd see Steve's Guitars on their tour schedules, and I was always like, what's going on there? And tonight I finally get to find out. So thanks for coming and joining me my first time in town. I like to be as close to people as possible, so don't be afraid of this front row. If you're feeling it, you can come up here and hang out with me. torn, I heard you singing, heard your voice in the middle of the air. Yeah, I could have sworn that I heard you singing, heard your voice in the middle of the air. And I found you in the garden. There were flowers growing through your hair, growing through your hair, growing through your hair. Give me one chance to sell my soul. I'll leave this better world behind. 'Cause I got an angel on my shoulder, got the devil on my mind. I'm going to the country. Today's kind of like the fourth show of the tour, but also kind of like the first, because Colorado lets you get away with playing shows closer together than everywhere else in the country. I don't know why that is. So for the first 3 days of my tour, I played 3 shows and drove a quarter of a tank of gas. And you aren't really on tour until you have to drive all day to get to the show. And this is the phase of the tour where that starts to happen. So I was in Denver and then Boulder and then Fort Collins. Woke up in Fort Collins this morning. And this is kind of a new part of the state for me. I'm going to Montrose tomorrow, and then Dolores, and then I have a miserable drive back to Denver after that. It was gorgeous though. It was so beautiful, and like I often just drive in silence and like write music in my head, and I'm just looking out the window. I'm like, man, I wish I could take pictures out the window without killing everyone around me with this car. I grew up in a family of artists, and my brother, Aiden, my older brother, he's a Shakespearean actor. That's what he does for a living. He travels around the country working for different Shakespeare repertory theater companies seasonally, and he's brilliant. And I was playing this festival in Utah in the middle of nowhere, and he called me, and he's like, I'm here too. I was like, what are you doing in Utah? He's like, the Mormons love Shakespeare. And I was like, why? And I mean, other than the obvious reasons, because it's something that they're allowed to do. And I was like, oh, that makes a ton of sense. So he was just he was just a couple hours away from me. So I played this beautiful festival out in the middle of the desert, rented a car and went down to see him. And I was missing home, and I wrote this song. It's called Lightning Gonna Catch Me Here. The red sand is bursting where the raindrops hit. My skin is burning like I was sleeping on a spit. In every bar room from here to St. George shut its doors. Dark sky is closing in, desert floors a glowing ember. The wind is kicking up like a drinker's temper. And every cloud in heaven is gathered round to shoot me down. Lightning gonna catch me here. catch me here. Lightning gonna catch me here. I'm going to see my brother way down the 89. Sit out on the front porch, try to feel like home sometime. Try to feel like home sometime. Because I wasn't built for traveling, just for traveling shoes. Honey, give me a compass, I'll still end up on the news. Lost again, lost again. Lightning gonna catch me here. Lightning gonna catch me here. Lightning gonna catch me here. My love's in Carolina with that darling son of mine. Live in California, but I'm trying to get back home to Caroline, home to Caroline. Lightning gonna catch me here. 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 All right. He looks like he really dug that song. I used to just play around the bars in my hometown. That was all I knew how to do. And then I started a band, and the fiddle player was like, "We should go on tour." And I was like, "We can't, because we're not famous." And he's like, "No, man, you just like email bars in other towns." And I was like, "Makes a lot of sense. We should go on tour, and I should keep you around with that big brain of yours." And so we did this really fun little tour of the Pacific Northwest, and whatever we could find, anything from a real gig to like a pizza joint that would let us play there. And one of the stops we made, this is a total tangential story now, was in Bend, Oregon. Has anyone ever been to Bend? And right when we rolled into town, we found out that the venue we were supposed to play had gone out of business, and nobody told us. And I was like, "We are playing a show. We just drove up this big mountain. We're going to play a show." So we just started busking in the street, and it was in front of this coffee shop. And the coffee shop was like, "Do you guys want to come in and play a show in here?" And we're like, "Yes." And I managed to have this like rager of a show inside the coffee shop in the middle of the day. And then someone was like, "We're having a work party at my ski shop. Do you want to come play?" And I was like, "Yes." And then some people there were like, "We're having a party at our house. Do you want to come play?" We ended up playing 5 times in Bend that day. But on this tour, we had a day off in Seattle, and we stayed with a friend, the bass player. And she's a big fan of the Renaissance Fair. So she had this giant walk-in closet full of Renaissance fair costumes. It was big and circular, and I was like, we should sit in here and write music all day. So that's what we did. I wrote this song in that closet, and the topic of the song has nothing to do with that story, but I like giving the context for some reason. It's called Letters. Wrote me a letter late last night. Blue ink on the back of a photograph, black and white. Her sweet face beneath the redwood tree left me with my worried mind and me. And I roll and I tumble, read it over and over again. Something that she said with a photograph, she didn't say with a ballpoint pen. And I'm learning how to worry, and I never was the worrying kind. She left me in Texas with a worried mind. sniffling a lot, but I'm not sick. Something about your air here just absolutely wrecks me every time I come to Colorado. I am a person that has like a lifelong mission against drinking water. And then I come here and I can't put enough water in my body to survive. Thank you. I'm not gonna blow my nose with toilet paper in front of you. Very kind of you. That costs extra. I have an OnlyFans for that. Sorry, I can be very foul sometimes. I'm a big Al Green fan and a big Otis Redding fan. And I like a lot of different kinds of music, yeah. But there's something about the music of those two guys, and some other people too, that like gets my adrenaline going when I listen to it. It's so much fun. Even when I'm just like alone in the car, I'm just like, I cannot believe how exciting this music is. And one of the best times to write music and be creative is when other music has you really excited. And so you frequently sit down and, you know, you write something and it might sound very similar, or it might sound really different from the thing that inspired you. But even if it sounds quite different, there's something in the DNA of that idea that translated. And so this doesn't really sound like an Al Green song, but this was the song that I wrote when I was really excited listening to Al Green. Just try and imagine that I have his like killer rhythm section behind me. Nice, okay. I think it was Love and Happiness. If I try to go, yeah, you would change my mind. Even if I wanted to, I know what I would do. I'd stay behind. Maybe it's just me. Yeah, maybe everything's fine. Maybe I'm the problem. Get tend to thinking like this all the time. All the time. Oh, nah, not like this. I'm giving so much just to feel like this. Yeah, not like this. Oh, nah. Things don't always just all work out. When you come home in the evening, give me something to talk about. Like having dreams you want to share with somebody. Having love, wanting to care for somebody. Like the life that you wanted, it doesn't exist because you can't live in when you're living like this. No, not like this. I'm giving so much just to live like this. Yeah, not like this. Yeah, not like this. I can't even tell you now. Telling you what I have with me. You're not like this. Oh, na, 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 na. Oh, na, 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 na. All right, I'm gonna do it, but don't tell anyone. No photos. I am, aren't I? Huh? Feels good though. Oh God, does. Got 5 minutes of normal breathing before I need to do that again. All right. When I was in school in Santa Cruz, somebody gave me a burned CD. It was of this guy named John Vandiver, who was a similar style guitarist from Texas back in the 80s. But he very unfortunately passed away before he ever became famous, or even moderately famous. You can't even really find his music on the internet. The closest I can find is like a CD that I can order off of eBay, and I don't have a CD player. I haven't had one in 10 years. But he really kind of changed my life. And he didn't even really write songs. It's amazing when someone can do that with their music without even really writing songs. He mostly did standards, but he just had this really big heart that came through in his music. And I like to play this song of his, or I don't know whether he wrote it or not, but I should probably find out. I've been playing it for 10 years, but it's called Yonder Come the Blues. Raindrops keep falling on a roof of tin. Whoa, 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 bad news. I ain't seen no sunshine since God knows when. I guess I'm bound to pay my dues. Over your shoulder now. Tell me, what did you see? Yonder come the blues, running right after me. Keeps on raining all the time. Sometimes out, but mostly in. I keep on waiting for that old sun to shine. Yeah, since I can't remember when. Over your shoulder now. Tell me, what did you see? Yonder come the blues. with your good mama, she just wants to treat you right. I think you better take my advice. Don't you go pussyfooting around late at night. If you do something, then you better think twice. Oh Lord, look over your shoulder now. Tell me, what did you see? Yonder comely blues running right after me. Thank you. Almost exactly a year ago, I was on tour in Europe, and I made 3 of the shows that I played were in the Netherlands. And I got to the first one, and I said, I'm proud of writing this song because it's the only song I'm aware of that's ever been written that is about both romance and cannibalism. And at the end of the show, this little old Dutch lady walks up to me and she hands me a handwritten note and she says, "This is an old Dutch song about romance and cannibalism." And so the next day, I went to the second show in the Netherlands and I told that story, including the last part. And at the end of that show, another little old Dutch lady with another handwritten note with another old Dutch song about romance and cannibalism, she came up to me. So obviously at the third show, I was like, "Listen, Dutch people, clearly you're more fascinating than I realized." And I didn't actually say that, but I was like, if any of you can complete this pattern and give me another old crazy Dutch song about loving someone and eating them, please do. And a young Dutch man managed to complete the pattern on for the third show. So I got 3 old Dutch songs about romance and cannibalism. And I looked them up, and theirs are far more raunchy and brutal than mine. Mine's called The Captain's Daughter Part 1. I was staring across the deck up at the captain's daughter, and her eyes looked brighter than the sun on the water. Boys, that's right. Boys, that's right. I hear that we're setting sail tonight. And she lets me look just from a distance, and she won't speak to me, but when I sing, she still listens. Late at night, hey, late at night, without a single speck of land in sight. sewn and embroidered. Honey, I know, 'cause I've been staring at her since the day that we boarded. Staring at her thigh. Staring at her thigh. And I'm looking at it in a brand new light. You see, first it was in the heat of passion, but it's been 15 days since we exhausted all other rations. Boys, that's right. Boys, that's right. Now I'm looking at her with an appetite, yeah. If you remember those scenes in old Looney Tunes cartoons, some of you already know what I'm gonna say. Where one of them gets really hungry and they're looking at the other animal character, and that one turns into like a giant honey baked ham for a second. That was like the moment I was trying to capture in this song. I'm gonna make her mine. Gonna make her mine. Gonna make her mine. Gonna make her mine. All right, let's shift gears to something bleak. I like to call this my depressing children's song. It's about a three-legged dog. And I wrote it when I was still in college, writing to an imaginary audience. And the only reason I put a three-legged dog in there was because I thought that the term three-legged dog had a nice ring to it. And it's a song about this dog dying. It's actually an optimistic song in my mind, because basically the family is mourning the loss of this dog, and the youngest person in the family is handling the grief of it the best. And I never really had a three-legged dog, but by the time I was a teenager, everyone in my house was crazy, except for my baby sister. I was 9 when she was born, and so she was way younger than the rest of us, and she was often the most reasonable person in the equation. And I put it on a record in 2014, and then this funny thing happened around 2018 or 19, where all of a sudden Spotify started pumping this song into millions of people's Discover Weekly playlists. And I started getting messages from people saying, I had a three-legged dog that died too. And I was like, oh no. I'm an imposter. And like, the main thing that I learned is that the subset of the American population that like owns or has owned a three-legged dog is way bigger than any of you think that is. There are so many, and I'm like, where are the legs going? What is happening? Are there any of you here tonight that owned or own or have? Okay, sort of. Oh, really? I'm sorry. I'm coming clean with you right now. Okay, I don't know exactly what that means, but okay, all right. Song's called Cinnamon Tree. It's only happened, I think, once before, where there was nobody in the audience. That this sort of counts, sort of. And I often people are like, does a three-legged cat count? I'm like, I guess so. You got to set me up a swing beneath that cinnamon tree. Give me half a breeze to push the sand. You got to fetch me up a telescope and 15 yards of sturdy rope, and I'll tell you where that puppy dog has went. I bet she's hit the railroad, she's hopping cars. I bet she's aboard a great ship lost at sea. She'll come bounding back again as soon as she smells that cinnamon. I'll bury her sweet bones beneath that tree. She was my three-legged dog. She's just a three-legged dog. She was a three-legged, oh, now I'll bury her bones out beneath that old cinnamon tree. Oh, no, no, I'll bury her bones out beneath that old cinnamon tree. Mama seems to think she's gone for some kind of good. Papa says she's 6 feet in the ground. I know that she's alright when I hear her howling in the moonlight. It's a wild and lovely sound. It's not the body of the beast that holds its spirit. It's the spirit itself which I adore. It's her love, it's her name, not the confines of her frame that makes me love her so much more. She was my three-legged dog. She's just a three-legged dog. She was a three-legged dog. Now baby, her bones are beneath that old cinnamon tree. Oh, no, no, no. Now baby, her bones are beneath that old cinnamon tree. My vocal cords are suffering from this crazy climate of yours too. You mountain people are invincible. Not only can you breathe up here, but you can all drink like fish, and you can run like 100 miles without thinking about it. Every time I go up into the mountains and play, usually it's the Sierras, and I'm just like, how are all of you in such good shape and you party so hard? song is called Mad Tom of Bedlam. I got the words from an old epic poem of the same name. It's about an insane asylum in England that was shut down, and they were just like, wander off into the countryside and go be prosperous. And a few people have said it to completely different music over time. My favorite version is by a woman named Jolie Holland. She was one of the Be Good Tanyas. And a few years ago, I was in Switzerland, and I had a day off, and I was wandering around this cute little town with my band, and we ended up in the catacombs underneath a church. And it was like, there were like real human skulls just kind of laying around everywhere. It wasn't like touristy. I had this, you know what I mean? It could have so easily been like, come look at the skulls, they're real. And I was like, we're not supposed to be here. We had just gone through some door that we found. And so I looked at the guys and I was like, we should play music down here. So we ran back across the town, grabbed an upright bass and this guitar and a violin and a snare drum, and I put those words from Mad Tom of Bedlam to music down there. It seemed appropriate. They don't make any sense, but they're really cool, so I always kind of figured one of the patients wrote them. Mad Tom of Bedlam, 10,000 miles I've traveled. Mad Madeline goes on dirty toes just to save her shoes from gravel. It's well that we sing Bonnie boys, hey Bonnie mad boys. Bedlam boys are Bonnie for the all go bear. They live in the air. They want no drink, no money. Yeah, talking about Mad Tom. Mad Tom of Bedlam. I went down to Satan's kitchen for to break my fast one morning. There I got souls piping hot while on the spit a turning, 'cause it's well that we sing Bonnie boys, yeah. Yeah, Bonnie mad boys. Bedlam boys, you're Bonnie for the all go bear. They live in the air. They want no drink, no money now. They're talking about Mad Tom. Mad Tom of Bedlam. Now the spirit white as lightning did on that journey guide me, and the sun did shake, the pale moon quaked wherever they did spy me. It's well that we sing Bonnie boy, yeah, Bonnie mad boy. Bedlam boys are Bonnie for the all go bear. They live in the air. They want no drink, no money. They're talking about me. Tonight I'm gonna go a-murdering the man in the moon to a powder. His staff I'll break, his knife I'll take, and I'll holler a wee bit louder, 'cause it's well that we sing Bonnie boys. Hey, Bonnie, mad boys. Bedlam boys are Bonnie, for they all go bare. They live in the air. They want no drink, no money. They're talking about Mad Tom. Mad Tom of Bedlam. I first fell in love with American folk music and blues music and gospel music many years ago when I was on Napster. I was trying to download an album by the Wu-Tang Clan. And the thing about programs like that was that it could say the file was one thing, and it could just be anything, pretty much. It was the wild, wild west of the internet. And you could end up in a very dark corner of it very quickly. But in this case, instead of it being the Wu-Tang Clan, it was a recording of Blind Willie Johnson from 1921. And this song of his, little different. This song of his called Let Your Light Shine on Me. And it's sort of like an aha moment song. And I was like, Blind Willie Johnson, your light is shining on me right now. Like, I am feeling this. And I just, like, I'd never heard a recording like that that was so old and so much of like a feeling just kind of passing right through it to me. How many people are familiar with his music specifically? Oh man, okay. NASA sent the Voyager space shuttle into space with all this information about what human life is like in case extraterrestrials ever found it. And to convey to aliens what the human emotion of loneliness is like, they used Blind Willie Johnson's music. It is really spooky, really cool, and like also hauntingly beautiful. So this is my rendition of the song that I downloaded instead of the Wu-Tang Clan. I wish I could do the Wu-Tang Clan for you right now, but that wasn't what I downloaded, so. You know what's funny is when I started talking, I actually wasn't gonna play this song. I was gonna play a different one, but now we're here, so let's do it. I don't got religion, but I ain't ashamed. Let your light from the lighthouse, let it shine on me, let it shine on me. Yeah, let it shine on me. Let your light from the lighthouse, let it shine on me. Yeah, no, 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 no. Oh, the angels name. Let your light from the lighthouse. Yeah, let it shine on me, let it shine on me. Yeah, let it shine on me. Let your light from the lighthouse. Oh no, let it shine on me. No, no, no. Don't got religion, no, but I ain't ashamed. Let your light, yeah, let it shine on me, let it shine on me. Yeah, let it shine on me. Let your light from the lighthouse, let it shine on me. This is like a medley I put together of some old folk lyrics. Most of them are Woody Guthrie. I promise I'll play more of my songs, but I really like playing this one. There's a better world coming, don't you see, see, see? There's a better world coming, don't you see? Don't even know that you see, see, see? There's a better world coming, don't you see? cross that river and I lay down to sleep. When I cross that river, good Lord, I lay down to sleep. I lay down to sleep. On the day that I woke up, I found shackles on my feet. I'm on the road again. I'm on the road again. But it takes a worried man just to sing a worried song. Takes a worried man just to sing a worried song. Yeah, but I'm worried now. I won't be worried long. I'm worried now, but I won't be worried long. I'm on the road again. I'm on the road again. There's a better world coming, don't you see, see? There's a better world coming, don't you see? Don't you know, can't you see? There's a better world coming, there's a better world coming, don't you see? I'm on the road again now, I'm on the road again now, I'm on the road again. All right, let's call it 2 more songs. It's been a fun tour. I've toured as the front person of a band for most of my life, and just kind of like still getting used to what it means to tour on your own. And one of the things that I've discovered is that you have to carry everything yourself. And so I fly Southwest because it's easiest to get the guitar on the plane with them. And they let you check 2 bags for free, and they can be up to 50 pounds. And I always run out of merchandise, so I brought as much as I possibly could this time. So when I got up to my walk from the shuttle to the counter, I had a 50-pound backpack on, a 50-pound suitcase in my hand, this guitar filled with metal in a case in my other hand, as well as my personal bag. So I was walking with 140 pounds worth of stuff. I feel like I got stronger like in one day. And I felt ridiculous, but I told myself, like, you're not gonna have to carry all of this home. Like, a lot of it's merchandise. So please join me in helping to make that true. I don't wanna carry 140 pounds home. I've got vinyl records, t-shirts, zip-up hoodies, stickers for free, CDs if you still have a 2001 Honda Accord that runs. Yeah, Ralph got a hoodie already. Okay. This song is sort of a lullaby, so don't fall asleep. It's called Dreamcatcher. winter jasmine, tried to keep her day bright, earned herself some shade, spent it all on moonlight. Told her I'm a dream catcher. She thought that was just a lie. And maybe it was, but my hands are open, so let me try. I can keep a secret. You can keep me in your heart. I can keep a secret. You can keep me in your heart. I don't pray for diamonds. I know I'm not the only one, but I didn't know what to do, and God decided to give me one. With a heart no heavier than a feather, she lay down and closed her eyes, right beside the dream catcher. It filled her head with fireflies. I can keep a secret if you can keep me in your heart. I can keep a secret if you can keep me in your heart. I can keep a secret if you can keep me in your heart. If there was a song that anyone was hoping to hear that I didn't play, let me know now and I'll do it if I can. Otherwise, I have one in mind and I'll finish with it. Cool. That's what I was about to play, so that we're in agreement. I was born in San Francisco. My parents are both like hippies that moved there, and my dad's from Chicago, my mom's from Virginia, and they were really poor. My mom inherited like just a little bit of money when a relative passed away, and so when I was 4 years old, they decided to just use that money for a down payment on a house, and they decided to buy this old Victorian house up in wine country up in Sonoma, California. It's the house I grew up in. It was 120 years old at the time, and it's like the most magical house I've ever seen, and people that did not grow up inside of it agree with me, so it's not just my opinion. But the problem was that they bought a 120-year-old house, and my dad is the least handy person on the planet, other than my mother, by a surprising long shot too. My dad's one of those people that when he tries to fix something, he gets angry and breaks it more. Not a good mix with a 120-year-old house, along with not having money to pay somebody else to fix the house for you. So by the time that we had all grown up, the house was like falling apart. Literally like pots and pans in the living room to catch the rain sort of situation. But a friend of mine bought it, and he saved the house, and we became really close to that process, or much closer than we were. And on the day that I got married, my best man, he snuck onto the property and stole a brick out of the foundation, and he gave it to me as a wedding present. And I thought, that's really sweet. And a couple years later, I was like, this house really kind of weighs on me already, and now I'm literally carrying around a brick from it. So I threw it in a river. And this song takes place inside of that house for me. It's about a lot of things, but I think mostly I've learned what it's about more over time after writing it. And I think it's like that thing that you always say about needing to learn to see your parents as just human beings as you grow up. It's about that, and it's about the same principle applied to yourself and your siblings and all the people that you care about, because we're all just human, and sometimes it's very hard to forgive each other and forgive ourselves. It's called Cold Canary Gaslight. He reads like a Bible, acts just like a birdcage, roars like an engine, dying out on burned rage. And you can blow out all the candles, fire up the limelight. She looks through him with a cold canary gaslight. Oh, sister, oh, now, don't you look at what I've done. Oh, sister, oh, now, don't you look at what I've done. Father's at the front door, dusting off the floor mat, brittle like his thick bark, tired like his old hat. He used to wonder how a young boy travels to a grown man. Said he walked on water, but he was dancing on quicksand. Oh, Father, oh, now, don't you look at what I've done. Oh, Father, oh, now, don't you look at what I've done. You see me tearing up the floorboards, white sheets covered you, fire in my eyes, water pouring through the roof. And you heard I found a mine shaft, digging past midnight, crawled into the dark with a cold canary gaslight. And I tried to throw a rope down, didn't feel it pull back. Dead canary chirping now, cold blood and pitch black. I said, oh, oh, oh. I said, oh, 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 no. I said, oh. very much, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. If you have friends in Montrose or Dolores, tell them that I'll be there tomorrow and the next day. And I hope this isn't the only time we get to do this together here and that I'll see you again. Have a wonderful night.